All right, here we are. It is Wildfire Organization Team Meeting October. We're going to rock some stuff out tonight because there's just so much going on right now. Tons of excitement. We had our mega sales in our organizations, and that was incredible. Tons and tons of great feedback on that. And now we're into our Croctober. So that's going on, all kinds of good stuff, and we'll kind of run through some of that stuff with you guys tonight. Tegan's going to be covering a few things, and I'm going to cover a couple things, and we're just going to completely tag team this and get you guys caught up. So September was amazing. I was trying to pull up the exact stats, but my internet is moving slow. I was saying earlier, I think it's because I've had so much action on the Croctober page. I think, seriously, my internet's starting to, break. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I can't get them up. But I know that we were up from prior year. We were up from prior month. And it was just looking really, really good. And lots of people hitting first month team leader numbers. Some of those people are on tonight. Kat, I see you on here. Congratulations. Woo. So we have our big weekend at the lake leader retreat coming up this weekend. So there was a whole incentive that went on. So anyone that hit that, we're going to be at the lake together this weekend. So that's going to be fun. So always watch for the incentives and things like that we're doing, and never give up, you guys. I had people who gave up in the last week and ended up $100 shy. $100.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't know that somebody on their team was going to put something in and blah, blah, blah. And I preach it. I preach, don't give up. You just keep working, keep going. I don't know how many times to say that. So you just never give up. And the other thing I want to say is, if you did fall a little short in your goals, I had this thought yesterday and kind of talked to our group of aspiring team leaders, just saying, if you're a little bit down about it, that's fine for about 5 seconds, but then get your mind set, shifted, and change it around and look at it as, hey, you're moving your business forward every time. All right. Yeah. You're reaching people, you're serving people, and that's what we want to do. So if that's you, if you're stuck in a mindset that's negative, then call one of us, because Tegan and I are happy to help you shift that around. So it's a choice that you make, and it's a different viewpoint, and it's something that can be learned. I definitely think it's a learned habit, honestly, is what I think. So it can be done. So if you feel like you're a little bit negative or negative self-talk, talk to us. We will help you turn that around and say some positive things to yourself. So watch out. You might not want to get on the phone with us for too long. We'll have you doing cheers and all kinds of crazy stuff. So anyway, that's kind of big picture of what's going on. Let's talk about the Croctober real quick. That is rocking and rolling. And this is much different than the mega sale. The mega sale is like a quick boom. You want taco seasoning? You want Alfredo? You want this? You want this? The Croctober is more like meal planning. It's going to take people longer to make decisions. It's a little bit harder to look at how it's out there. So we've been telling everybody to go to the photos and click on that to be able to see the menus. I'm having more one-on-one follow-up conversations than I did with the mega sale. So I hope you have a list of everyone that you've added to that Croctober group, and so you can go back through and follow up with them. And I have some verbiage for that I posted on our team page, and I'll add a little bit more tonight too of some follow-up verbiage for people who haven't ordered. That's still live until 9 p.m. tonight, and so I haven't posted that verbiage for that piece of it yet, but I'll have that in there. And we're also really trying to get people to use the app. So the people that have ordered from me so far, this verbiage is already out there on this link that's in our files, and it says hey, do you want me to input the order for you and take payment, or do you want to do it on the app, save by $5, get a 10% credit towards next time, and have everything in your pantry on the app, and then I can teach you how to use that. So we're really pushing the app with this because we want them to learn how to go in and order at any time, so they don't really need us. It's like free money in our pocket going forward. So put in the time up front. It's part of multiplying your time. You're going to put in your time up front, but in the end, it's not going to take you as much time because they're going to learn how to use that app moving forward. So
yeah.
Does that make sense for everybody? Any questions on that so far with the app and how to do that? Okay. I jotted down some other notes, so I want to make sure. Oh, one other thing. I've had a couple people say, well, I added some people, but they haven't ordered. You know what? We had in our group 2,500 people for the mega sale, and I would say less than 500 ordered. Okay? So for the Crock-Pot one, we have 5,000 in there. We may only have 100 ordered, but it could be that, like Tegan was saying, she has a specific jam of what she goes for. Well, these people have a specific jam too. And we're going to keep these groups going with new things each month. And if you have ideas for that, we would love to hear it. What do you want to see come through these groups? So we're just brainstorming and taking ideas and trying to implement them. And that's what we're doing in these groups going forward. Because I think the mass number in these groups, it's a really good thing. So we'll just have to kind of see where we can go from here. But don't worry if you don't have a lot ordering, as long as you're doing that individual follow-up and just asking, hey, was there anything, that you were interested in? How can I help you? What makes sense for you and your family? Just how can I serve you? That's the question you want to be asking. Not do you want to buy something, but how can I serve you? How can Wild Tree help your family? What are you looking for? Because they had to have accepted into this group for a reason, right? So let's meet them where they are. For some people, they're just going to be confused and not understand how it works. And by having that conversation, you might collect an order. You might collect a customer. Who knows? But let's see what they want. Let's truly serve them, and we can only do that by doing that follow-up, okay? Let's see. Oh, the other thing I was thinking, so all these people that we have, these people should go into your funnel, into your customer database. You should be taking notes. If they are interested right now, then put in your follow-up. You'll follow up with them in a couple months and tell them that, hey, no problem. If something comes up and you want to get something, give me a call. Otherwise, I'll just follow up with you in a couple months and see if I can help you in any way. But use these people. Don't lose them in the midst of life. Get them in your customer database and put a date of when you're following up and put what your conversation was. Okay? All right. I think that's all I have on the Crocktober. Tegan, you want to add anything, or does anybody have any questions on that?
I would just add to stay engaged. Pop in there if not, make it a point to pop in there every day, every other day, every couple days, at least a couple times a week. Pop in there and add something of value. Take a picture of your own crock-pot meal. Have your kids standing by your crock-pot stirring, or, whatever it is that you want to do, but just add value to it. Comment on a recipe that you like. Or if you have dietary restrictions or food allergies and you need to make tweaks to some of these, that is of incredible value. Asterisk, heads up, people with dairy allergies, and then say whatever you're going to say, or, whatever it is. I would just stay engaged. Your people seeing that you have a voice in that group gives you kind of that leadership perspective, that they'll see you as kind of more of a player in the group. If that makes sense. So, add value, comment on things, tag people. If a customer loves tomato soup, tag them in the tomato soup post. So just stay engaged with that, add people to it. There should be some posts. I know that Annie and I actually have separate groups with this one. We had partnered with Brooke Lewis and her organization for the mega sale. So we have, my organization in Down has a separate group for this, but I think the thought is, obviously really focusing on that referral piece, like I've seen in Annie's also. So you could have your customers refer customers into this group and just be aware of that and send them private messages. Hey, welcome to the Crocktober group. And send them a short message. I'd love to, see how Wild Tree can best serve you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And then it starts that relationship conversation. That's it. You don't need to say anything else. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, how many people you cook for, your relationship with cooking, like to cook, hate to cook, don't know what to cook. And then that's it. Leave it open-ended. So then the ball's in their court to respond back to you. Not, hey, let me know if you see anything that you like. Let me know what looks good. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Ask them a question that they need to respond to.
Yeah, that's a great point. I have 5 referral orders right now from the crockpot thing, and I had probably 6, I think, from the mega sale. All referrals, new customers.
Awesome.
Yep, big deal. Okay, fantastic. Tegan, what do you want to talk about next?
Okay, let's do, let's save the other thing you were going to talk about for last. Right? Sound good?
The other thing I'm going to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to save that for later.
Yeah, for last. Okay, so let's talk about the booking blitz. So what's coming up this month? Obviously, we talked about the Croctober, and then this Thursday we're doing an organization-wide booking blitz. So who here has been part of a booking blitz with us before? Okay, some of you. Okay, so I don't see many hands, so that's good. So what the booking blitz is on Thursday, this Thursday at noon Central and then 8 p.m. Central, we will be jumping on a call just like this, a Zoom call together, and we're going to jump on for 15 minutes right at noon Central and right at 8 o'clock Central. And we're just going to rally everyone, get excited. We'll talk about different verbiage to use, excitement factors, things coming up, like ways you can drip on your people to get bookings. And before that, so leading up to Thursday, so tomorrow and Thursday morning, we'll post like a script, essentially. So verbiage to help you guys during the booking blitz. So we rally for 15 minutes, then get off the phone, and then for 45 straight minutes, you are doing nothing else. You're not using the bathroom. You go to the bathroom at 11:55. You're just calling. You're just calling. And this, you could be touching. So touching looks like calling, Facebook messaging, Facebook or voice texting, essentially, or texting people. So whichever your people communicate with best. I literally just had a gal right before we jumped on message me and said, she's our age, like early mid-30s, and she's like, I hate the phone. I will not talk on it. I know I sound 80. Here's my email address. This is how you can best get a hold of me. And I'm like, okay, like that's clear cut. She's a hostess coming up of mine, and that's clear cut communication, right? So I know she emails and I know she Facebook messages. And so you better bet I'm not going to call her. I'm going to communicate with her how she wants to be communicated with and how she'll most likely respond back to me. So if you have your customer care surveys and they sit here and they circle yes for texting, then you text that person or you voice text that person. So we'll talk about those pieces, and you guys are going to dial and then right at the top of the hour, so right at 1 o'clock Central and then right at 9 o'clock Central, we'll jump back on the Zoom platform and just wrap it up. Share excitement, share how many no's you got, how many messages you left, how many responses you got, how many bookings you got, and we'll just rally each other. So the entire point of the booking blitz is to set dedicated time. You're doing nothing else for 45 straight minutes, and I guarantee you, Kat, how many calls or touches did you get in last time?
I think I made like 14 touches, calls and everything, and I actually got one confirmed booking, and then it led to another booking a couple days later.
Awesome.
Good.
Perfect. So we'll talk about strategy with that. We'll talk about how we all have that low-hanging fruit, right? The people who are like almost confirmed booking. So you want to touch your low-hanging fruit first to get some of those feel-good moments in where maybe they're like, oh, yes, I've been meaning to set that date. Or, you give them 3 dates and they pick one. And you're like, yes, like that's a win. That's an immediate booking. So we talk about touching your low-hanging fruit first, and then making those phone calls that might take a little bit longer to have a conversation. Hey, how you doing? I know we talked a while back about picking a date for your workshop. I have 3 or 4 upcoming dates. I would say 3 upcoming dates available. What do you say? Things like that. So we'll talk strategy with that, but really it's dedicated time. We're doing nothing else but booking and dialing for bookings, and everyone gets really excited about it. I think it's a blast. I know that sometimes with busyness, I get distracted with my kiddos and don't spend that dedicated time. So we want to set you guys up for a really solid October into November. And then those bookings will then lead to bookings in December, then January, February, March. So does that sound good?
Yeah. I mean, so true. What you do right now, you guys, is going to set you up for next year. Kid you not. So, and it's just, once you get these booked, then you can start getting bookings at your parties, and then it just is a spiral. It just is better and better and better. So I think we should do like some little prize for whoever has the most no's during our booking blitz gets the crown or something. I mean, we'll have to come up with something for that, because it's all about the activity. It's all a numbers game. You ask 10 people, 1 in 10 are going to say yes. Sometimes those yeses don't come till number 19 and 20 though. So just staying in the game. And I always say, before, I shared this the other day, before I go to a party, like, I am so fun to do parties with. People love booking with me. Like, that's one of my affirmations. And I just say it to myself on the way to my party, just to pump myself up and get ready. So come up with whatever your affirmation is for yourself about bookings. And face that fear if you have any. So.
Yep, for sure.
Okay. Who can get on Thursday at noon?
Yeah, noon Central, and then again at 8 o'clock Central. All right. Okay. So then the next thing we want to talk about is the social media piece. So I don't know, Annie, did you share that on your organization page, the social media challenge for October?
I don't know that I did.
Okay.
I don't know that I've seen it. I don't know if I've seen it, Tegan, to be honest.
Okay. So I made a social media challenge for October, and basically it's just one post a day. So I don't know how many of you listened to the business builder call I did, not just a couple days ago, but the week before, about social media, and really just honing in on posting 3 times a day on your personal page. So one time it's something about Wild Tree. One time it's something personal, so something your kids did that was cute, something you're doing, and another time is something either that adds value, or it could be another personal thing. I know sometimes there are a couple things you do during a day that you want to share about, and I think that's totally fine. Someone had brought that up, that if they don't have something that like is a quote or a fun meme or a question that they're asking, if they can post 2 personal and 1 thing about Wild Tree, and I think that's totally fine. But really just getting in a habit of sharing 3 times a day on your personal page. And that will just keep you in front of your audience. It'll keep you in front of your customer base. My husband is ill tonight, so I'm everywhere. That's why we do what we do, right? So the 3 times a day is just to stay present and stay in front of your customer base. So you can do that same thing in your customer group as well. They see how cute your new blanket is. They love it. It's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. And so your customer group or your business page, same thing. You can share 3 times a day. You can share once a day. You can share twice a day, but just staying consistent in what you're sharing. So, or how often you're sharing. So, I love you, buddy. Good night. Thank you. Thanks, bud. So that's that social media piece I talked about. And so the challenge is 1 thing a day that kind of gets your juices flowing on what to post. So, for instance, tomorrow is National Taco Day. I think Thursday is World Teacher Day. And then from there, it's just ask a question, or share a kitchen tip, or do a pumpkin carving contest for your customer group maybe, or your post it on your personal Facebook. Just lots of different things, 1 thing a day that'll just kind of get your mind flowing on, oh, okay, I could post something about this. So it's just a fun little challenge.
You are amazing. Like, how do you come up with all those things?
Oh,
Your brain is just like flowing with ideas. I love it.
I literally Googled like days, like October, like days in important days in October, and then looked at like several different articles and like it was silly. So that's just to help your mind get flowing. I have people ask all the time, how do you know what to post, or what should I post, or when should I post it, or like I'm out of content. I have no idea what to post and when. So this just gets like it talks about sharing a Croctober recipe. There's International Coffee Day. I know National Coffee Day was in September, but International Coffee Day. There's Pumpkin Day. Like all the national days that you can think of food related are on there. But anyway, we'll make sure it's shared on the Wildfire organization page. And it's just, there's an image for it. And then there's a PDF for it as well. So you can just kind of follow along and do that. But literally Google's your BFF for content. I post all the time, like things like top benefits of an avocado on my customer group. I'm not kidding. And it gets more likes and comments than if I post about a wild tree recipe, or I'll post about the measurement conversions. Like Google is your BFF. Post anything and everything kitchen and food related, and your people will freak out. So, and that's what we do. We offer value. Like those things add value. People don't know, like lemon water. They have no idea the benefits of lemon water. So post a graphic on the benefits of lemon water. Things like that. So again, just being consistent and building that relationship with people will really go a long way. They'll start to trust you. They'll like you. Like I know people like doing business with us, but they'll like you and they'll want to do business with you. When they walk by a wild tree vendor at an event, they'll say, oh no, thanks. I have a great wild tree gal. Like that's the relationship we want to build with people. Right. So that those social media tips just kind of help you get in the flow of that. And then did anyone have any questions on that or feedback on that at all?
We should post the link to the business builder callback, or the number too, just all together in one with that social media.
Yeah, it's huge, guys. People are watching. I mean, there have been, at this point, over 40 people who have joined my team in the last year and a half from social media alone, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, just from just from watching. And a lot of them, in fact, most of them have never, ever commented or liked any of my posts until they reach out to me about the opportunity, which blows my mind, which tells me right there, people are watching everything we're doing all the time. So, stay neutral with all the controversy that's going on. Stay neutral in your posts. Stay neutral in your temperament. If you're having a bad day, certainly be real. People love seeing real and not just fake happy-go-lucky all the time. But like the negative, things like that. Like just stay neutral and then share value, share fun, share ways to be involved with your business on all levels. So social media, check. Booking Blitz, check. We talked about the app a little bit. There's so much to share about the app.
I think Mallory had a question maybe. Did you have a question, Mallory?
I was just going to say, like, the Be Real gets the most responses. Yesterday, Monday, I posted a picture. My house was, my baby tornado went through it. And I hadn't done dishes and I needed to clean off the table. So I posted a picture because we have open concepts. I posted a picture of just all of it. And I said, so who else is having a chaotic Monday? And I got the most responses out of that. And people were just loved it.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah. Spot on, Mallory. Spot on. Yep. And that's with anything. I think sometimes people think we join Wild Tree and then all of a sudden we're like this uppity kitchen guru who always has our meals planned and we know exactly what we're doing 7 nights a week, and our kids eat everything so nicely and their peas and all this stuff. And that's not the reality. We Wild Tree for various reasons, but most of all, we Wild Tree to save our behinds. We wild tree to be on top of the stress rather than let the stress consume us of meal planning. We wild tree to make incredible money. We wild tree to help others. For all these reasons, but we're not perfect in this. So I think exactly what you said, and just sharing the reality, showing a messy kitchen, showing, the kids super messy eating, maybe take a short video of your kid being like, I don't like this. And then another follow-up video saying like them actually eating the food. It's so nice to show that all of this is, social media is all perspective. And if we always show like neat and tidy all the time, people aren't going to want to do what we do or be invested where we're invested.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good input, Mallory. Thank you.
Any other questions on that social media piece? Okay, Tegan's like the guru, so here's your time to ask her.
I don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably on it way too often. Actually, that's a good point. I'm going to hone in on that one real quick. I said that, and then it just left a really bad taste in my mouth. I'm not on it too often. I'm on it strategically. Mm-hmm. So I get on, I check my pages that I know I need to check, and all of your top pages that you want to be consistent in touching should be in your favorites. They should be right there on your left-hand toolbar so you can get to them easily and quickly without having to search your groups. They should just be right there. Mm-hmm. And then you get in there, you check things, respond to people, and you get out. Yeah. And then another tip would be just to like and comment on 10 to 15 people's posts a day that you're wanting to build a relationship with. So, and that's literally, how fast it is to like and comment on something. It should be like 3 minutes tops. So go in, search people who you haven't seen in your newsfeed for a while, like and comment on one of their posts. They're going to start popping back into your newsfeed. You're going to start popping back into theirs. It's all strategy based. Mm-hmm. It's all relationship building based. And it's not meant to be this, if you're a scroller, it's not meant to be, hey, we're going to get on and we're going to scroll for a half an hour. And then we're going to be like, man, I should have done my touches today, but I scrolled Facebook instead. So just be strategic in when you go on. I know Annie's really good about that. She'll go on in the morning and she'll go on at night, and she's in and out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And usually once during the day. So, and then on the weekend, sometimes I don't get on sometimes on the weekend. So, Yep. And the thing I'll add on that is I've actually now started, I time blocked on Monday to set my posts and schedule my posts in my groups that I want to be touching. So you can actually do that within Facebook now. There's a little time clock down by where you hit post, and you can schedule your post out. So utilize that. That way I may spend more time on it on Monday, but overall I'm going to spend less time thinking about my content and all that. And I think with that too, once you get in a groove with your content and you start thinking in that type of mindset, you'll think of 3 or 4 or 5 things that you can do for the week all at one time versus trying to set your mindset once each day of what am I going to post today? I think if you can just spend your energy, and it'll come out a lot faster. So did that.
And then that posting scheduler is only for groups. It's not for personal page, which I'm hoping they'll make it for your personal Facebook page at some point, because that would be genius.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we could be hands off all the time.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Cool. Okay. So app, I know we talked about a little bit. Just be consistent with that in sharing it. If you or when you have your events, if you guys do Facebook events for your inviting to your workshops and tastings, make sure you're doing a follow-up post in there, sharing the hostess's referral code, and really honing in on that crowd, because you'll have people in that event who didn't attend live to put the app on their phone. So there's some strategy around that too. We can do some posting and sharing more about strategy tips with building your app business. I think that's smart. we can come up with, I know on my org page, Annie, I have that mastering the app. We can maybe translate that to your org page too and share those posts and strategy for building your app business. But
How
just,
many of you guys use the app regularly? Like show of hands. Who's using it? All the time. Knows how to use it. Okay. I would say that's the very first thing to do. You guys get in there and use the app. I cannot tell you how amazing it is. It is, I love it. Love it. You know, but if you don't feel comfortable in doing it, you're not going to feel comfortable in having people add to it and teaching them how to do it. So the first thing you need to do is get in there and really learn how to use it, learn what you're doing, figure out how do you add things to your Wild Tree cart, how do you add things to your grocery list, how do you have things of, you know, what's your meal board look like for the week, what do your meals look like, how do you put in dietary restrictions. It's not hard to do, but you need to know how to do it, and the only way to learn it is to really do it yourself. So if you're not using it regularly, like daily, get in there and start messing around with it. You can't mess it up. So one thing I always forget about technology, you're not going to screw it up. Just get in there and play around.
Does everybody else's take forever to load? Mine takes forever. Maybe I just need to take it off and put it back on, but
Maybe. What kind of phone do you have?
I have an Android. I have a Samsung Galaxy S5.
I wonder if it's the S5.
It might be.
My old S5 took forever to load.
Your what?
My S5 took forever to load too. So,
Because it doesn't.
I just got a new phone and it still seems to be kind of sluggish to load. So I'm not sure. I've been meaning to send an email for feedback and I just haven't gotten it done yet. So
Yeah, send that in. And then I get on it a lot on my computer, actually, under wildtreemeals.com.
yeah.
This is my
Yeah,
phone.
I've used that.
I use my computer most of the time. I use my app to show when I'm with someone, and I use my app when I'm at the grocery store to actually use my grocery list.
Right.
But otherwise, I do everything from my laptop, and I encourage people to even try it there because it's easier to navigate. And once they kind of understand how it works, then the app actually then becomes second nature to them.
Yeah, and I wanted to show the app. I've done a few vendor events since we've launched the app, and I want to use it, but it just takes so long to load that I set it aside and I talk about it, but I don't bring it out because I don't want it to look bad. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let's sit here for 5 minutes and
Yeah, I do think it might be something with your phone. Because, like, I literally just hit, I have an Android too, which is why I asked. And I just hit the thing and it popped up right away with my dashboard.
okay.
I have an S6.
Okay.
So I do wonder if it's something with that. But, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to send it in and ask the question. And I think you're right. I wouldn't do it and have it not load, you know. Last night, though, I was at a party and just my internet on my phone wasn't working. But again, I had like 200 notifications. And so I thought maybe it was just from that. Like I couldn't get Facebook to pull up. I couldn't get anything to work. But sitting here right now, it just pulled right up. So, but I love, Kat, how you're teaching it. You're having people start with Wild Tree Meals, navigating there, and then kind of moving them to their phone. I love that. I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So any other questions on the app? No? Okay. So just, again, consistency is key. Using it yourself, knowing the features all down the left-hand toolbar, what they do, how they do it, how you can best utilize that. And then just sharing it with others in a capacity of simplicity. So if you have people that you're following up with and they want to learn more about the app, hone in on what they're wanting to do with the app and kind of start there. So like if they're wanting to use up their pantry, start there. So hone in on what their need is and then meet them in that need. And showcase how the app can help them. But of course, just like Annie said, unless you know how to use it yourself, you're not going to be sharing it with others, right? Because you're going to be afraid you're not going to know what you're talking about. So I would definitely get in there and use it for sure. Create some collections and pin some recipes to it. It's amazing. My 9-year-old daughter has Hashimoto's, and so she's gluten and dairy free, and she went in. I have a YouTube video on it, and I'll share it with you guys because it's so cute. But she just went in and made her own collection, which she titled it like J Bear's Awesomeness or something like that. And so she went and she found her recipes that she loves. And so if she wants to make energy bites, or if she wants to make dinner, that she has her little collection of favorites. And she did such a good job showing how to make a collection and then save recipes to it. But it's literally that easy. So what a neat tool for your kids to have if they're, that age or older, teenage, or they go in and make meals using the app too. So really nice. So I kind of covered what I'm covering tonight, the app, social media, and the booking Blitz. And I'm going to turn it back over to Annie.
All right. I'm going to finish it up with something exciting. I don't know if you guys all saw, but from corporate, they announced a huge incentive starting. It started September 21st, goes through the end of October. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Whoop, whoop.
So this is for anyone who is an aspiring team leader. So that means you have 1,000 in personal sales and 2,000 in team volume with at least one other person on your team. Okay. So you could have 2,000 personal and your teammate could have 0 and you still be aspiring team leader. Okay. You just have to have someone on your team. So it's aspiring team leader, team leaders, and senior team leaders are grouped together. Whoever has the most recruits to BQ, Henry Bedford, our CEO, is coming to your hometown. And he pretty much said we can do whatever you want. So we could do dinner with your team. We could do, there's so many things. You could go ziplining. I bet you can talk them into anything. So super, super exciting. They're also having a separate one for directors. So they're doing 2 different levels, which I absolutely love because I feel like anybody, it is wide open, can hit that. So the thing I want to point out is, do you guys know what that would do for your team if the CEO comes? It would be huge, huge, huge deal. If you announce to people in your area, the CEO of Wild Tree is making a special trip to our area because he heard how Wild Tree is rocking here, there's going to be so many people that would love to get together and meet him. And maybe you do like a opportunity and just have him talk a little bit about Wild Tree and what's coming up. How cool. It could be amazing. So that is super exciting. So anyone that wants to go for that, work with your upline on it and let's make it happen because I think that would be amazing. So I would love for it to happen. So I might even fly to Colorado, Kat, if you want to go for that. I think that's a good one for you. Yeah. So super, super exciting. Any other details on that I need to share, Tegan, that you can think of? It's town recruiting incentive or something like that. Hometown incentive, if you guys want to look at it.
I'm looking at it real quick.
All the details on it.
Yeah. Nope. I think that's it. I think
and they do not have to BQ by October 31st. You just have to have them signed up by October 31st. The winners actually won't be announced until December sometime because they have 45 days to BQ in there. So just to make that very clear. So tons and tons of time. So just like we're doing this booking blitz on Thursday, you can do the same thing for a recruiting blitz. Do it on your own. Just force yourself to put time in your calendar. This is all I'm doing right now. I'm going to call everybody in my funnel and see, what's going on. Are they ready to jump in? This is our top selling season right now, October, November. Let's get it done and let's get them in here. Okay. So I think that's all I got tonight. What questions do you guys have?
I have a question that's unrelated to this. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I had read back how in June they did the double hostess credits.
Mhm.
I had seen that they had did that again around holiday. I'm trying to book some stuff, like with some other DS gals. So
Mhm.
I wanted to do it around the time if they're doing the double hostess credits again.
I have not heard that they're doing them again, and if anything, I've heard they're probably not doing them again.
Okay.
I would not bank on it.
Okay.
So I would just plan your event, and I plan it like sooner rather than later. And
Yeah.
and
We're looking at November, but
yeah,
we want to give away like the hostess credits from each of us to to like draw a name and give them away to attendees. So I was like, well, if we're doing double hostess credits, then I want to give them as much as they can get. So
yeah. Yep, I wouldn't bank on it.
okay, thank you.
I think last year, just for your guys' information, it was December 15th through the end of January.
I was like, wow.
It was like all year long. No wonder they're not doing it again. No, mid-December through end of January is when it was. So I would assume if they do it, that's when it would be, but I don't think they're going to. So, but that's just rumor that I'm hearing.
Well, any other questions?
All right. Awesome, you guys. Well, let's wrap this up. We're going to post some things on our team page about the booking blitz, so be watching for that. Verbiage for the Cocktober event and follow up with that is so important. The social media challenge, that's going to be out there. So we're just going to start like pinging you guys with all kinds of great information on our team pages. So get ready and get out there and grab those so you can see, how to follow up and how to get all that stuff done. So you guys have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.